Well, who actually erected the Georgia Guidestones? I can give you kind of a hint that I can't like say, hey, here's a canceled check, and we traced the check, and it went to this person, and all this kind of garbage. We do know in the Wikipedia, I don't think they mention about the $20 million given to the granite company and by the mysterious man R.C. Christensen, and it doesn't actually mention the description of R.C. Christensen. But by the description of R.C. Christensen, the guy that gave the $20 million for the Georgia Guidestone, it could very well be Ted Turner himself. The other thing is that's pretty blatantly obvious. Ted Turner often says, and he stated this public, that humanity should be under 300,000, around 300,000 in globally, not 8 billion. And you look at the first axiom or whatever it is, maintain humanity under 500 million. 500,000. I meant to say 500. I meant to say 300 million, not 300,000. Instead of 8 billion. But maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. That was the first axiom. Now, Ted Turner's in agreement with that because he publicly states, 300 million. The physical description of R.C. Christensen, actually, if you look down on here, you'll see the name author R.C. Christensen, a pseudonym. Nobody knew where the money came from. They funded this granite company to build these things. It was $20 million initially. It was erected, the date they say it was erected on the stones itself. So I know sometimes you could say, is that the exact date? But it's actually etched on the stones themselves is 3/22/1980. 322 is also the skull and bones number. Interesting, So sponsors a small group of Americans who seek the age of reason. I'm going to actually tell you a couple of things on this damn thing. Well, first off, it says guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. This unite humanity with a living new language. Now, there's one thing on here. Actually, there's a couple things in here, but it might be all right. Prize for truth, beauty, and love, seeking harmony with the infinite. I don't know. Why not, right? But number 7 I like a lot. Actually, I agree with this, and actually, lucky 7 is a good number. 7's always a good Kabbalist lucky number. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Actually, you ought to dispose of them and clobber them anytime you get, and disobey every damn petty law there is. That's another good thing about this. There's actually one good freaking thing on here, so, just take the one good thing and throw out the rest. Well, I don't know. I mean, sometimes rule, passion, faith, and tradition, but that sounds like egomaniac yo-yos that think they know better for everybody. But R.C. Christensen, it's like something, I could just take an educated guess about it. I mean, the guy, they don't mention it in Wikipedia, but I read elsewhere what the physical description of R.C. Christensen looked like. Now, I mean, is that really proof? I mean, how many people have a physical general description of what Ted Turner looks like? A hell of a lot, right? But considering that, how many people got $20 million to give to somebody cash back in 1980? How many people publicly stated that, or, big multi-billionaires, that they want the population of humanity to be 300 million? And here this thing, the first thing it says, 500 million. It's a pretty decent guess that R.C. Christensen was none other than Ted Turner. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I mentioned many times about Alex Jones being controlled opposition, also with Jesse Ventura. I know people are saying, oh, yeah, it was like not really, they just hire some people sometimes that are from Time Warner. They're all linked. I can get into more detail about it. You can look up the corporate records and stuff and see who their attorneys are. Alex Jones is actually listed as managing member, so sometimes I wonder if, who's the actual owner of the firm, that he lists as, what the hell is that again? It's not InfoWars, it's some other thing. I forgot what it was off the top of my head, Freedom something or whatever the hell it is. But, he is disinformation because he just stirs up emotions. A lot of people say, oh, he's waking people up. Well, he's also shooting the freaking movement in the foot by making the vast majority of people make them look like a total hothead crackpot. Well, they look at everybody as a total hothead crackpot because good example was what he did with Piers Morgan on a debate with the gun control and all that type of stuff. So actually, the guns are one of the freaking problems that the freaking New World Order has. I can tell you this now. This is not this. I just mentioned Ted Turner, so I'm not going to be associating Ted Turner with pedophilia and cocaine here now. Okay, not at all, because I don't really know what the hell the guy does. I mean, he gets drunk a little bit. I mean, he's probably a normal person otherwise, and thinking that he publicly stating that humanity should be under 300 million. But a lot of the other elitists out there, from not just the rumor mills, but also a lot of other evidence that's coming forth from people that were kids talking about it, that they're into pedophilia, drugs and stuff, and all kinds of freaking depraved behavior. Well, you got to remember this, if people that are elitist, quote unquote, got to resort to that type of stuff, they're not that freaking strong or disciplined. I'm going to state to you this, though. The main problem with anything, I'll tell you this flat out, it's never the elite. Even the Bible kind of references to this, that about the New World Order, the evil one world government, and all that kind of crap. And they say the people could prevent it, but they don't. Well, that's exactly what the problem is. The people themselves are their own freaking worst enemy. As a matter of fact, you see a lot of these things passed around on the internet about the Congress being so corrupt and the House of Representatives. People elect them every 2 years. They're coming from local districts. They're not like appointed for life, and they're coming from local districts. It's not too hard to freaking change that situation. They could defund the hell out of the United Nations. They could freaking impeach the president or whatever the hell it is. They could force him to, if the presidency's got it all wrapped up where the elite choose both sides. Actually, I don't know why people even, I don't know. To me, I don't vote Republican or Democrat. To hell with them, man. But, the people themselves really don't do the job unless they get their back pushed to the wall. And actually, the way it's being set up right now, it's almost like everybody's being set up in a pot like a bunch of frogs, and they're kind of cooking them slow so they don't realize what's going on. It's all piecemeal. They kind of hit you a little bit here and there. People get pissed off. They back off a little bit. They keep going towards more total control. Now, I actually want to mention something here about Vlad Putin. I always put a lot of stuff out of him. I always said he's an elitist. Man, I don't get it when your people freaking saying he's anti-New World Order. Now, here's a picture with him with Ted Turner. Now, does that prove he's some kind of elitist or whatever per se? No, but I mean, they're all buddy-buddy. I can even tell you this about Vlad. A lot of people don't know this. All he has to do, like say in the business world, and a lot of people don't know this one. If he wants to, if there's somebody in the state, like a Russian state, that's big in business, and he wants to hammer them without actually even having an investigation, all he has to do is flag them, put a red flag on them for Interpol, and it's almost as good as having a conviction, man. They'll watch him like a freaking hawk. That's the kind of power Vlad's got. All he's got to do is flag somebody and say, Interpol, you're flag. He can do that personally. I don't think a lot of people can tell you that. Now, Russia Today, that's Russia Today, RT America. Also, We Are Change. You're associated with this guy, Ted Turner, We Are Change. You know how many times that freaking Luke, whatever the hell his name, got interviews with on the street with a Rothschild? How the hell did he do that? Yeah, right. Really good snooping and pooping, buddy, right? I'm telling you, they're all freaking working together. They're not waking anybody up. What they're doing is creating a focused diversion for people that, semi-wake up a little bit, and then they kind of freaking lead them off the cliff, or they lead them down the wrong fork of the road. That's exactly what they're doing. All working together, man. All working together. Vlad is New World Order today, to the max, too. The other thing is, what could be going on, like, I don't really know this for a fact, but even this stuff where you see the tensions in Ukraine and how it's working out, they could be setting up World War III, and Vlad's just in on a game. He's just playing his part. What the hell else is new, right? I mean, everybody's saying, oh, it's a bomb, it's Vlad. They could all just be playing a game, and, the game is on us. Right? I would be more likely to think that than anything. But I know Vlad's part of, people. There's people that just won't believe that Vlad is part of the freaking New World Order to the max. Oh, he's against the New World Order. Oh, he's fighting the freaking banksters. Fucking idiots, man. I'm getting sick of this shit. I can't believe this crap. It's beyond ludicrous. They're all part of it, man. They're all part of it. I mean, his picture doesn't prove that because he has an interview with Ted Turner. I know. That's not going to prove something. But they're all freaking working together, more or less. More or less. And I don't know, if they work together like in smooth harmony all the time. I wouldn't think they do, because human nature being what human nature is, there's going to be friction at times. Maybe Vlad is causing, problems within the New World Order because he wants to see Russia have a lot more clout. I don't know. But then again, I don't know. Maybe that's the part of the game, too. But Ted Turner, for the longest time, he's always said that the population should be 300 million or less. And, you see this one axiom, 500 million or less. Now, I know the guy that they described as R.C. Christensen, which is a pseudonym, which gave the $20 million to that granite firm over in Georgia to build these damn things. The physical description of the guy would have fit Ted Turner. Does that prove that that was Ted Turner? No. But then again, how many people of that physical description got just $20 million to throw around, and also at the same time have publicly state that they want the population to be 300 million, whereas the Guidestones itself say 500 million. It's not proof, but it's a pretty reasonable suspicion, to say the least, that R.C. Christensen was Ted Turner. And, anybody working for his yo-yo broadcast, which basically would be Jesse Ventura, Anderson Cooper, anybody associated with that yo-yo is not to be trusted. I don't know. I'm not going to make this too long, because I do like number 7. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Yeah, if they're useless officials, just get rid of them. Petty laws, just destroy them. Anyway, that's all I got to say on this, because I don't know if, some people got their minds made up. But, I'll leave you with this thought again, though. The real problem is the people themselves. The elite are not that powerful or that freaking smart. I'm not saying Ted Turner, I doubt very much Ted Turner does all the weird shit some of the other stories do with the elitists, you know what I mean? With the pedophilia and the freaking cocaine and I don't know whatever else they freaking have out there. I'm not saying he does that stuff. He doesn't seem like he would, man. I don't know. He seems like a normal guy, other than just being an egomaniac that thinks the world should have 300 million people. But, if a lot of these elitists got to resort to these types of things, that means they're actually weak. The problem is the people themselves are even weaker. They are. Because you can lead the people down a freaking rabbit hole real easy with just a little disinformation. In other words, you tell them some truth, you mix in some bullshit, and you got them going on the wrong road. You got them going on the wrong road. Yeah, this is the direction. And you believe in them, and then all of a sudden they tell you this is the direction, and all of a sudden you're going in the wrong direction. And, I suspect very much that Vlad, I'm almost sure Vlad's 100% in with them. Even when we had in the 1950s, when the communists were there was a big anti-communist, the big Red Scare and everything. Oh, crap, Rockefeller used to have a freaking office over there in Moscow. They've always been connected, man. Professor Anthony Sutton, I read that stuff years ago, man. I know a lot of stuff that goes on. I know there's a lot of connections between The monopoly-type capitalist and a communist. Those always have been. Oh, as a matter of fact, Gorbachev, before he even stepped down from, leader of Russia, the guy that ran Russia, they gave him the keys to the Presidio, which was the oldest naval facility owned by the U.S. government that overlooked the hills of the hills of San Francisco or Sacramento or San Francisco, actually it was near there. They gave it to him, but he did not. It was not under Gorbachev USA Foundation at the time. He was still the leader of Russia, but he was given the keys to it. It was under another name. And Gorbachev USA Foundation is actually an environmentalist think tank. Actually, communism has went into environmentalism because it negates private property rights and your freedoms. Duh. Anyway, you got the deal. And guys like Alex Jones, man, he's just making all this. He's making everybody that, thinks a little bit into what's going on look like a total crackpot by his diatribes and things like that. The guy he's a major disinformation agent to the max. So anyway, but like I said, I don't think they're that smart. The problem is the people themselves they're the ones, the people themselves, they could take care of this shit pretty quick. Problem is they're not going to, as long as things are going okay with them. That's 99.99% of the problem. That's just how it is, man. I've known about this shit for I don't know how many decades, man. People don't give a shit. They don't know what's for lunch. That's what they think. Yeah, it's nice. I don't care. What's the joke now, right? That's the way they are, man. They want to be entertained. They want to be fed bullshit. They want to be fed bullshit, kept in the dark like a mushroom. They don't want to hear nothing bad. So, and then the people that want to hear stuff bad, man, they're into drama to the max, like it's a horror show. Look, tell me something worse. Oh, boy, I love it. So, it's the people themselves, man. The elite aren't that strong. And, repeat that fact about Putin and Interpol. If he wants to slam somebody, he just red flags him to Interpol. They had to watch him like a hawk. Then they're freaking through. He can do that with anybody. This guy's, he's an elitist, man, to the max. Gunvor, oil trading, whatever the hell that was, the oil trading consortium, whatever the hell that was, over in based. It's in Switzerland, but it's registered in Cyprus. That's one of his money cows over there too. Yeah, because any profits they make on capital gains from commodities, when it's registered in Cyprus, just like basically no tax on it. Yeah, man, he's all connected to the West, man, all the way. Switzerland, the Western banking system. As a matter of fact, I could tell you, like, sometimes I've seen stuff where they were trying to transfer like lots of money, and it didn't go through, even though the wire went through and they said it went through. That's because the U.S. Federal, I don't know if it's a Federal Reserve or whatever the hell it is. I'm not sure exactly. But they could stop wires in midstream, man. The banking system is a bunch of bullshit when it's electronic. I'm going to tell you that right now. They could stop. They don't do it to people because it would kill the faith in the system. But the U.S. government's got the power to freaking do anything anywhere in the freaking world, man. That's a fact. But the point is, Vlad's all part of that too. Oh well. Anyway, that's all I got to say.